welcome to the Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. Can we have a roll call?
Yeah, okay. Stacy.
Here.
Curran.
Here.
Knoble. Here. Linneman.
Here.
Benny. Here. Anna's not here. Silva. Here. Bradley. Here.
Okay, we have a quorum, and if everyone will please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation given by Father Daniel Manchikian of St. Greg.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is Father Daniel Manjikan of St. Gregory Church. Thank you for having me with you today. I will do the invocation. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty Lord, we ask you to guide our reflection, action, and endeavors. And we ask you for your guidance in deliberation and all the decisions of this body, because a strong, wise, healthy, and visionary leadership is essential for the well-being of our schools in Granite City. Give us your wisdom, O Lord, to speak, do, and think all which is good in your sight, especially in all the decisions we are about to make today for the benefit of our schools district. Today, with thanksgiving and praise, we ask you, Lord, to bless this precious city, especially the schools, employees, students, and their families, keeping them all away from visible and invisible enemies, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Father. That was beautiful.
Okay, we can open up the room to public comment. Anybody has anything? Okay. I think I'm ready. You take it away.
Okay, we have some exciting things to present tonight and to talk about. I would first love to call up our former student advisory board member, Ms. Kate Winiger. So I'm going to have Caitlin explain a little bit of this, but in June, how far after graduation? Not many days after graduation.
Probably like 3 weeks.
Yes. You ventured to Phoenix for, why don't you explain exactly, I have it on here, but it'd probably be better coming from you.
So in roughly the middle of June, I was fortunate enough to compete at the National Speech and Debate Tournament in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, a lot of you will hear the name speech and debate and think that we're just going to argue about things and talk about pointless nonsense. While I'm a professional about talking about pointless nonsense, we here we were competing against other people who have been doing this activity, some for many years. I've done it all 4 years throughout high school personally, and in different categories. Some can be informative, that's what I competed in. I competed in expository, which is an informative speech that's roughly 5 minutes long, and you can write about anything you want as long as you don't use a visual aid. I personally decided to write about the color pink because, you know, who doesn't love the color pink just a little bit? And there's other forms of competition. I believe next month they'll be having Anna, who also competed with me, and she'll probably explain her area of competition as well, better than I can probably explain it. But it was a very great experience for me. I liked being able to meet tons of kids who are just like me from all around the country, and we all have this one love for this activity. Like, personally, I love this activity, and you know, there's, for some reason, some high schoolers watching at home, join speech and debate next year.
And we have some great sponsors who weren't able to make it tonight.
Yeah.
We have Ms. Amy Pennell Davis and Mr. Wesley Copper, correct?
Yeah.
And they both accompanied them to Phoenix. We were able to send them. I had FaceTimed them with a couple times to see how they were doing. I'm very excited about what was going on. And you were all over the place, right? There wasn't just one location like they went in. They were at different locations throughout Phoenix. It was very strenuous, and you guys were pretty amazing. So we wanted to at least recognize, because you placed what out of how many eventually?
30 out of, I believe, roughly like 462 in my event.
Right across, yeah. I mean, she's up there with people she doesn't know, with a group of, I used to coach mock trial, which was excruciatingly difficult to sit and watch, because you're just so nervous, and it's amazing what these young people can accomplish. And watching you and hearing you, Miss Spinell Davis sent me a clip, I don't think you know that, but trying to see some of that, so we're just so very proud of what you're going to be doing too. She is a student that this isn't all she did, okay? She was involved in so many different things, band, student council, keep going. Theater, yeah, plays. If you watched the play, she was in both those major parts. What was the person's name you read in the last of her?
I was Merle and
Well,
Rex's ex.
And she had some interesting part.
Yeah.
Nice southern accent too. But anyway, this is an amazing accomplishment. We hate to see Caitlin go, but we're still looking forward to what she accomplishes in the next 4 years. So this is for you, placing top 30 of the nation for expository speaking.
Caitlin, what are your future plans?
Oh yeah, listen, this is exciting.
I'm going to be attending Mizzou, University of Missouri this fall. I'm going to be majoring in social studies, secondary education. So I'm hoping to be a teacher one day. I'm also majoring in journalism, and I'm hoping to minor in theater as well because I'm very passionate about it. So I'm excited for that.
We are too. Awesome. I already told her she has to go make her. Congratulations. Thank you so much for being here, Caitlin. We wish you well too. We'll have to see, you have to check in. Absolutely. An amazing career here at GCHS. She was an incredible student. Also tonight, I wanted to welcome again. We are very fortunate in this community to have an industry here that has, our city has grown around it. Many of our families have been directly touched by this industry. My own father worked for 43 years in accounting at Granite City U.S. Steel. I know so many people here probably have someone who worked there. I think it's really incredible and commendable how much you give back to the schools. I know Ms. Sampson, Robin Sampson, if you want to come up, Mr. Mike Patton, and we're fortunate enough tonight also to have Mr. Craig McClory also from the corporate. So if you guys could come on up, we'd really appreciate it. Like I said, so if you want to maybe introduce and say where corporate is and explain some of that to us, maybe.
Sure. I'm Craig McClory from. I'm Director of Employee Relations for a couple different facilities, but our corporate headquarters is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I've worked at headquarters responsibilities and other plant responsibilities here in Granite, Minnesota, Indiana, so kind of all over.
And so then you are our HR person here in Granite City, correct? Yeah. The only one. For all these people, so her job is, and if you don't forget, a couple months ago, we have the check that she does a lot of public service and philanthropy for U.S. Steel, and so she won an award, and she chose to give her winnings to the district as well to help with reading instruction. So our reading interventionist got to utilize them, and we have some pictures of some of the stuff they bought that we'll have for you soon too. So we're so appreciative. In this particular case, and Mike Patton, who is the plant manager, doesn't sound like a general plant manager. That sounds better, right?
I work for Robin.
We graduated pretty close together too. So they do such a good job taking care of us. So this particular time, they are presenting us with $10,000 to help with our athletic department. Would like to have Mr. John Mode come up and Mr. Tim McChristian. John Mode's our athletic director, and Mr. McChristian is the new high school principal. So they're going to be the big recipients.
Cool. John, thank you.
This is John. This
Very
is
well.
Tim McChristian.
Tim, nice to meet you.
I think so. I didn't get the memo on the dark color. So, John, like I said, we've been talking about this, and there's just a lot of stuff right now. We had some teams that we have a rotation, but it goes a little thin, and sometimes they'll get shirts, but not bottoms. So right now I know.
Funding is always needed. We know that in all our athletic teams.
needs, and this is gonna help tremendously, especially with PE, with equipment that can enhance the PE department, and it's gonna be put to good use. Our kids are gonna be very pleased with the donation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's really great right now. We need some like ping pong tables, we need some uniforms, it's a really good timing on your part. So,
Good.
and Mr. Christian, this is our new high school principal, so, I think he's gonna be happy to have this, yes. He's a Collinsville native, but we'll excuse that. But, we wanted to do something because this isn't the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth time that you guys have donated to our school district. And in my mind, that just means a lot to our communities as well. So we sort of wanted you to, we have something we call the GCSD9 Partner in Education. So we really wanted to present you with that is
Very nice.
helping us with all this stuff that you're giving us for today, all the money you've given us and all the support. I know they did a school drive with the steelworkers as well. Every year, there's something that they're doing for our students and our staff, so we are very appreciative. John's good.
Scott's in the back of it.
Good job. Uh-oh, he's gonna go for, we can stand on.
We're good.
the chair.
We got it.
Oh, all right,
Okay,
good.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for what you do. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Nice meeting you. See y'all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thank you.
attending. We appreciate it.
And from there, we can move on to the approval of the minutes for June 27th, 2023. Yeah.
Second.
I draw my blank. Do we have to do roll call on this?
No.
No, okay. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, ayes have it. And then the consent agenda, which is the items that are repetitive and routine in nature. Any member may make a motion to approve the consent agenda or request that any of the items be moved to section 7 for individual discussion and consideration. This is the bill list and the generous gift that we just received. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. All,
Roll call.
roll call on this one.
Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Bradley. Aye.
Good. And then we move on to, skip 7, we're on recommendations and communications for human resources. Rescind, 8A, rescind retirements and resignations.
It is recommended that the following retirements and resignations be rescinded. Sherry Collender, Cafe GCHS, effective 6/28/24. Bruce Frank, Health and Driver's Ed Teacher GCHS, rescind end of 26/27. Aaron Kinsey, Administrative Assistant Office, rescind 8/31/2027.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, and, any discussion? Roll call.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Okay, 8B, retirements and resignations.
It is recommended that the following retirements and resignations be accepted. Madeline Barsky, Kindergarten Teacher Prather, resignation effective 6/30/23. John Bouchard, Construction Teacher, GCHS, retirement end of 27/28. Sherry Collender, Cafe GCHS, retirement end of 8/31/23. Rochelle O'Leary, Second Grade Teacher, Maryville, retirement end of 23/24. Lorna Evanson, Library Aide Coolidge, resignation end of 22/23. Bruce Frank, Health and Driver's Ed Teacher, GCHS, retirement end of 25/26. Aaron Kinsey, Administrative Assistant Admin Office, retirement 2/17/28. Megan Harton, Paraprofessional Prather, resignation 7/5/23. Emma Lorton, 8th grade science teacher, Coolidge Junior High School, resignation 7/10/23. Lisa Miller, GCHS English teacher, retirement end of 27/28. And Adea Moore, paraprofessional GCHS, resignation effective 7/12/23.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Stacy and Noble.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Noble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva. Aye. Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye. Okay, 8C, requests for leaves of absence.
It is recommended that the following requests for leaves of absence be approved. Erin Wachter, sixth grade teacher at Grigsby, effective 8/14/23 to 11/6/23. Austin Pellizzari, custodian at Grigsby, 4/24/23 to 7/17/23. Stacy Rollins, paraprofessional GCHS, effective 8/14/23 to 11/6/23. And Ron Weaver, custodian at Crowheart, effective 6/13/23 through 9/5/23.
Do we have a motion?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? And roll call.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva. Aye. Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble. Aye.
And 8D, requests for extensions to leaves of absence.
It is recommended that the following requests for extension to leaves of absence be approved. Austin Pellizzari, custodian at Grigsby, effective 7/17/23 to 10/9/23.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Benny. Aye. Silva. Aye. Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
Okay, 8E, extracurricular resignations for the 23-24 school year.
You have received detailed information about this item below. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. The GCSD9 administration is recommending that the following extracurricular resignations for the 23-24 school year be accepted. Scott Fondry, assistant girls basketball coach; Max Kiffer, assistant boys golf coach; and Emma Worden, assistant girls basketball coach.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Silva. Aye. Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye.
We're on 8F, extracurricular recommendations for the 23-24 school year.
The GCSD9 administration is recommending that the following extracurricular assignments for the 23-24 school year be approved. You've received detailed information about this item below. The administration is prepared to make the recommendations or hold. There are quite a few. They are lunch quarter duties and some sports positions. I don't know if you'll need to read those.
We should probably read the coaches.
The coaches, that's what I thought, but not, okay, you ready? Danielle Depew, high school assistant girls volleyball coach; Linda Ames, high school student council; John Mode, high school athletic director, district athletic director; Eric Hill, GCSS assistant athletic director; Tom Miller, GCHS head boys track coach; Kendall Lyons, assistant boys track coach at the high school; Corey Bird, GCHS head girls track coach; Earl Clark, GCHS assistant girls track coach; Jake Janet, GCHS assistant floater track coach; Rocky Caribbean, GCHS head boys tennis coach; Alex Boker, GCHS assistant boys tennis coach; Justin Warren, GCHS head boys volleyball coach; Ginger Harrison, GCHS assistant boys volleyball coach; Ken Prasma, GCHS head girls soccer coach; Barry Brody, GCHS assistant girls soccer coach; Tim Henson, GCHS assistant girls soccer coach; Scott Smalley, GCHS head baseball coach; Jeff Ridenour, GCHS assistant baseball coach; Mark Wilson, GCHS assistant baseball coach; Brandon Robinson, assistant baseball coach; Mike Bryant, assistant baseball coach; Tim Wilson, GCHS head softball coach; Ed Connolly, GCHS assistant softball coach; and Bill Peasy, GCHS assistant softball coach; Keith Boyd, Coolidge assistant basketball coach.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble. Aye. Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva. Aye.
Okay, yeah, some of those are,
They're
Yeah,
volunteers.
volunteer. 8G, extracurricular volunteers for the 23-24 school year.
I mean, there's detailed information about this item below. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or to hold a discussion in executive session. The administration is recommending the following extracurricular volunteers for the 23-24 school year approved. I kind of want to read them because they are volunteers. I think that says a lot. I just want to go over those. So Erin Miller, Gay Straight Alliance, Amy Pennell Davis, Thespian Club, Linda Ames, Renaissance sponsor. The rest of these people will be Renaissance sponsors. I'm not going to say Renaissance after all of them, okay? So Amy Heath, Liz Sissio, Cindy Desper, Chris Harrison, Ginger Harrison, Jamie Pamatot, Tracy Hill, Natalie Rushing, Ashley Ritchie, Samantha Hubbard, Kelly Hutchings, Chris Hutchings, Sean Neville, and Amy Warren.
And Amber Bailey being introduced.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yep.
I know Amber, sorry, Amber Bailey Queens. Also, Coolidge Junior High School, Tim Wilson and Lindsay Doolittle. So we really appreciate them taking their time out and volunteering to help our students.
Very important.
Can we just explain, just so we all understand? Mr. Wilson and Ms. Doolittle, they're softball coaches for Coolidge, and they're volunteers
Right.
because it goes for so long, right?
That's right.
Yeah, new programs are,
For 3
3
years,
years.
they have new programs for 3 years, that's why they're volunteers, so that's even more.
Yeah.
Great point, yeah, Mr. Stacy, thank you.
Move to approve.
second. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Lindeman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Bradley.
Aye.
Okay, 8H, Granite City High School Student Workers Co-ops for the 23-24 school year.
This is a great program. You have received detailed information about this item. Administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold a discussion in executive session. The GCSD9 administration is recommending the following student workers for the 23-24 school year be approved. It's really nice, I think, that we can employ students within our district to help within our district. Some of these are EL students as well, too, that help.
Yes.
It really makes a big difference to the other students, so I just want to say that. Having said that, I hope I pronounce all of these correctly. Milton Dowell, Naela Isidro Sebastian, Mia Leon, Mackenzie Munez, and Marley Popmarkoff.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Lindeman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Okay, 8I, certified and classified substitutes, and there are a bunch.
I mean, I would love to read them all, but we would like to get out of here.
I think there are 173.
Yeah. So it is recommended, we are very happy to recommend the following of applicants be board approved as substitutes for the 23-24 school year. These are ones that have done that before, plus new, Mr. Parker, is that correct? Do you have any idea about how many we managed to pull in this year and are new? Anyway, they're all on here, and we are super appreciative of all of them, but there are a lot to read about, so.
So moved.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Noble.
Aye.
Lindeman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye. Okay, 8J, policies.
The policy committee, which will be Linda and whoever else, who's else on there? Oh, Becky? No. Oh, Erica, sorry. Is recommending the approval of the following policies, which you've already discussed, and they were from last time, and we're just voting on them for the first policy. So they are listed below. For your preview, you had them a month ago, so.
Yeah, a lot of these are kind of updated for legal reasons to make sure that we're in compliance with state law and anything that's changed that way. Nothing exciting, just keeping everything nice and even in a legal way.
I like the one about bullying. They really just laid it all out.
They come from, we have a team of lawyers, it's called Press, that oversees these and makes sure that we're in compliance with any new state laws or federal laws. So, those have to be approved.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any more discussion?
Can we approve both March and June at the same time? Or do we have to have a separate vote?
Are they on here?
Well, I mean, they're listed under policies.
Yeah.
So
They're
just
both
follow
here,
one.
so
Okay.
they're-
They were just delineated out in March and June, so I don't know if they had to be separate or not.
Oh, who was the
First on
second?
credits, but it's the entire,
Noble?
Linda.
Oh, yeah, it was so listed.
They were listed as one group.
I think.
Okay.
One motion covers
Sounds
both.
good. Ready?
Yep, roll call.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Okay, 8K1, employment of Title I aides, 2, for the 23-24 school year.
You received information about this item below. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. This position will work with parameters of the Title I grant. That's its grant sponsored. This will be a part-time position and paid for the Title I grant, not to exceed 15 hours per week. The GCSD9 administration and the interview committee consisting of Christina Velasquez-Caverna, Executive Director of Curriculum and Professional Development, and Dr. Liz Neifert, Principal of Maryville Education Center, are recommending the employment of Ms. Deborah Mendoza and Autumn Spink as Title I aides for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second. Discussion?
Will they be at Maryville or are they gonna be around different schools? Or?
They're gonna be at two different schools.
Roll call?
Benny. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Okay, 8K2, the employment of 4 paraprofessionals for the 23-24 school year.
You received detailed information about this item below. We're prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. GCSD9 administration and interview committee consisting of Ms. Jill Welke, Special Education Region 1 Supervisor, and Stephanie Boyer, Special Education Region 1 Coordinator, are recommending the employment of the following candidates as paraprofessionals for the 23-24 school year. Ms. Laura Carr, Ms. Kimberly Jackson, Ms. Ashton Richardson, and Ms. Helen Thomas. Approval is recommended pending the submission of the required paperwork.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Hard to get pairs.
I know.
Roll call?
Silva.
Aye.
Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Aye.
Linneman. Benny. Aye.
Okay, 8K3, the employment of Coolidge Junior High School 8th grade science teacher for the 23-24 school year.
You have received detailed information about this item below as well. The administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. The GCSD9 administration and the interview committee consisting of Dr. David Keel, Mr. Pat Curry, Principal Coolidge High School, Ms. Megan Wettikin, Assistant Principal Coolidge High School, and Mr. Tony Dodd, Science Teacher at Coolidge Junior High School, are recommending the employment of Tina Pettis as the 8th grade Science Teacher at Coolidge Junior High for the 23-24 school year. Approval is recommended pending the submission of required paperwork.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Okay. 10A, the school improvement plans for fiscal year 24.
You've received the information below about this item. We are prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. Due to the Illinois State Board of Education school designation and funding provided through Title I, Part A, Section 1003, School Improvement of the Every Child Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, Illinois Power, Wilson, Mitchell, and GCHS are required to submit an annual school improvement plan, it's called an SIP, to our Board of Education, also included but are not required to report per ISB guidelines or Crater, Maryville, Philhart, Grigsby, and Coolidge. You can see these reports under separate cover and approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Not really pertaining to approval or not of these, but I'd like, I don't know the frequency, but over the course of the year, I'd like to hear updates on how these are going.
Okay.
If they're like building presentations or what, but I.
Kristen and David?
Yeah.
Great.
Roll call?
Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Bradley. Aye.
Okay. 10B, Title I aides for the 23-24 school year.
You have received information below about this item. We are prepared to make recommendations or hold a discussion in executive session. Title I aides for the 23-24 school year. The rates for the school year will be $15 per hour for those without a bachelor's degree and $16.50 per hour for those holding a bachelor's degree. Title aides work only on days when students are in attendance. These are the recommended title aides for the 23-24 school Miss Nanette Cochran, Cheryl Hackathall, Brittany Lindsay, Lisa Mink, Paula Ward, and Caitlin Flee. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Just that there are lots of names that have been on here for years. I'm thrilled that they
It's
stay with
really
us.
great, isn't it?
Great.
I think Kristen can attest to that. I think she's always happy when we see them, and they do a great job, so thank you.
Roll call.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny, I. Silva. Aye. Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Okay, is it,
I'm just saying that because we were still.
yeah, I can't.
No, it's just-
10C, fiscal year 23 school district library grant.
It's great that we get this. I am pleased to inform you that the Granite City Community Unit School District has received the FY '23 School District Library Grant in the award of $4,867.94. The School District Library Grant provides supplementary support for school district's library media program to enhance student learning and academics. Grant funds are typically used for the acquisition of library materials to support reading for academics and enjoyment, library subscriptions to electronic resources or library-based technology to support student research. Acceptance of this grant is respectfully requested. So moved. Here we go.
Discussion?
I do have a question. Who, now, I noticed that Lorna Evanson retired, or is resigning. Do we have a librarian?
Paul Macius is the high school librarian.
For the high school?
She was at Coolidge.
Yeah.
I don't,
So the other, are we gonna have anybody to replace her, or Coolidge? Or just teachers gonna take their classes and? Just interested with.
Pat's looking for someone now,
That's
Oh,
what I
okay.
thought.
so
All
yeah.
right,
So,
that's what I
yeah,
was
they'll
wondering.
This just
replace her,
happened,
if they
right?
can
Okay.
replace her, but yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty exciting, especially with the new technology and things that can do.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we appreciate this grant that's here.
Wondered.
It's a meeting center, right?
And if you're sad that you can't use the school library, you can always go to.
No.
2001 Delmar, or it's doing.
Not that he knows anything about them. Good fun.
Yep. Wasn't that
My
much
friend
fun?
Tino.
Yeah.
We have a motion and a second.
We do, oh, we haven't even moved on, yeah.
They had the first and second, we didn't know they did.
So, any more discussion? Roll call.
Knoble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny, I. Silva. Aye. Bradley.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
You should vote on that.
10D, sixth hour assignment, ESSC Lake School.
You have received detailed information about this item below. We are prepared to make recommendations or hold for discussion in executive session. Permission is requested to approve the following 6-hour assignment for the fall semester at Essex Lake School, ESSC Lake School. This assignment allows us to make the opportunities equitable to Granite City High School. The additional compensation will be paid with TAF grant monies. David, do you want to explain why we did this and how a great opportunity this is for those kids in Lake?
Yes, and we started off with Christy Mode in that position because she was the one who actually taught work co-op at the, for Gen Ed at the high school. And then when she became an administrator, Candace Parker became the teacher for work co-op. And so we moved, we took her 6-hour assignment, which is her first hour of the day. She goes to Lake during her first hour, and she teaches a work co-op class to the students there who have jobs. She finds jobs, helps find jobs for students there also. And they get a credit for that course. They get a half a credit for the course, but then they get a credit each semester for having a job. So it kind of takes the place of 2 electives. And that's always been a huge benefit at the Granite City High School. So now Dr. Harris and myself, 2 years ago, brought Christy Mode over for that and started that program there.
Very
So-
equitable. I mean, it makes it equitable for those kids too, and I think that's very important.
It helps them get credit earlier, and we talked about that at that last presentation with that as well. And I don't know, probably in another 9 weeks or so, Nick and I have already been talking about it, Ms. Patrol, about we have driver safety. We'll do a 6-hour assignment for driver safety also. So we want to make sure that those students at Lake, those high school students, that they're getting as much as they possibly can, some of the same benefits that they would get at the Granite City High School.
So, I like that approach.
So
So we,
moved. Oh, I'm sorry.
Second.
Discussion?
I was just gonna say, for a local 743 contract, we are recommending that Candace Parker have the addendum amount for the 6-hour assignment.
Roll call.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny, I. Silva. Aye. Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Okay, 10E, GCSD9 handbooks for fiscal year '24.
The building administrative teams have aligned the student handbooks with the Illinois Principals Association Model Student Handbook, as well as any new programs that have been approved by the Board of Education. The IPA Model Handbook is attorney drafted and fully aligned with press, which is legal team we use for policy as well. The Illinois Association of School Boards, School District Policy Service, as well as state, federal, and case law that change on a frequent basis. We have updated the language as necessary. Copies were emailed to the Board of Education on Thursday for review. I think that we use the Illinois Principals Association Model Handbook because it makes sure we're in compliance in so many different ways and doesn't open up the district to liability. It has a cost, but it's been incredibly helpful to all the administrators in those buildings to be able to follow that. So Dr. Keel sent those out on July 20th for review.
Move to approve.
Second. Discussion? Roll call.
Denny. Aye. Silva. Aye. Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye. Okay, 10F, evening academy assignments for fall 23-24.
Okay, permission is requested to approve the following evening academy assignments for Granite City High School to meet the fall semester needs. As you know, I think we talked about the evening academy before. It's a great opportunity for some of our kids that maybe can't be successful in the regular day format. So it's a great program, I think, that we have. Also gives an equitable approach to kids that may not be able to attend the every day. It helps them. So I just want to read the teachers off. Kim Lignell, Lisa Moore, Laura Sullivan, Natalie Boyd, Peggy Wilson, Liz Sissio, Trina Thank you, Tisler, I've never seen that. Beth Darling, Candace Parker, Kyle Kozer, Christine Douglas, Laura DeLuca, Scott Smalley, Aaron Feldman, Deb Garland, Kelly Hutchings, Adrian Johnson, and Eric Mitchell. Due to the holidays, there are more Tuesdays and Thursdays in the fall semester than Monday and Wednesdays. That's why some of the teachers, as you can see, for the board members of different stipend teachers. So approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
Another great list.
Yeah, I know, right?
Roll call.
Silva. Aye. Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye.
Denny. Aye.
10G, paper supplies bid, number 1. Oh, 24, yeah, okay.
The following vendors were sent invitations for paper supply bids, I-124. The bid includes all paper white color for the 23-24 school year. The tabulations have been completed and listed below. The recommended vendor is CPG Contract Paper Group. Paper 101 was at $76,822.51. Midland came in at $74,570.10. CPG $66,253.05. Veritiv $72,044, and no bid received from Saunders. So approval for CPG is recommended.
So moved. I'll second.
Discussion?
I'd love to bring those numbers down. More use of
Yeah.
computers and.
Just out of curiosity, is this the same vendor we
Yes. This is for the whole. Right, we are looking to try to, maybe the little ones we get it, but as they get older, we start being able to use things for the whole. I think we've seen a little reduction in this brand.
Roll call.
Bradley. Aye. Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye.
Denny. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
10H, Region 1 consent agenda items.
You've received this information about this item below. Administration is prepared to make recommendations or hold a discussion. Mickey, do you want to explain why we're doing this now? It's easy.
Typically, we have the Region 1 board meeting, and then we have you approve the actions of the Region 1 board. The Region 1 board meeting had to be pushed back due to some health concerns. We weren't able to reach quorum. In order for us to move forward with the school year, we need to go ahead and have the consent agenda items approved. There are annual contracts, so that we can get those in. So Granite City is our, basically our governing body anyway. So having the Granite City Board approve them for us, then we will ratify them at our next board meeting, which is actually this Thursday.
Right. So I just wanted you to understand that there was a date this year. Okay, I can leave them off or you could just, Administration is requesting the approval of those following regional consent agenda items. Illinois Alliance of Administrators of Special Education, Illinois Association of School Business Officials, Region 3 Audiology Vision Itinerant Orientation and Mobility Service Contractual Agreement, Vision Services Contractual Agreement, Illinois Center for Autism, Region 1 Satellite Contractual Agreement, Interagency Riverbend Head Start Family Services Agreement, Secondary Transitional Experience Program Contractual Agreement, Regional Office Education, Maxim Healthcare Services, Deaf Inc., Paraquad and Deafway Interpreting Service Contracts, Embrace Contractual Agreement, Integra Therapy Services, Legal Counsel, and Shawnee Behavioral Services Emergent Learning. Those are all people that we use to support.
Regularly occurring contracts that we have.
Thank you.
Second.
Discussion?
I better change that. Hold on.
Roll call.
Stacy.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Noble.
Aye.
Linneman.
Aye.
Benny. Aye. Silva.
Aye.
Or Bradley. Aye.
Okay, 10I, Board of Education meeting schedule for fiscal year '24.
Okay. At the Board of Education meeting on June 27, 23, the Board of Education discussed the possibility of having 2 board meetings a month versus our current schedule at 1 per month. Below are the proposed changes, although, do I need to talk about how that can't work in January?
Yeah, there's a couple that,
Do you want me to just read these and then say, Tom, how should I do that? Read them and then say how some that have to change a few of them? Yes.
Well, the board members all received a copy of this, right?
I
Right.
mean, we don't need to read them.
Don't need to read them, if the board is aware of what they are, they have it in front of them.
Okay, but do I need to say anything about the January meeting?
Can we make an adjustment later at that time, than before that?
She said first.
We need to move with an amendment, right?
Right.
Can we,
I don't know.
can we,
Can we just,
can we table this to look at it, because I've got some notations here, January, difficulty with that.
Well,
November.
I just have a question, Tom. If we have a scheduled meeting and there's a conflict, especially like the staff is out, is it possible, like in the November
We just
meeting or
adjust
something,
that
to
on the
say,
fly.
we're gonna move that meeting to a different date?
We can adjust that,
Yeah.
and then, but the requirement is that we have to provide all the news outlets with the amended schedule. But yeah,
Sure.
the board can change the board meeting.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, to do
All right.
the convenience.
So otherwise,
Board
it's
meeting.
anything like that we run into, we can change beforehand.
So have we looked at each month to see if the second Tuesday is going to be viable?
I mean, I understand that January 2nd, that the week or 10 days leading up to that, there is nobody here, central office is closed. So that date could be a very difficult date to get
Same thing.
board meeting
Right.
documents prepared.
We can make adjustments as
But
we're
it's-
going, we get close to the date.
But yeah, we can
But
always
it's-
make
it's-
adjustments to the
Are you saying the
schedule.
second Tuesday in January or
Yes.
January 2nd?
Is it not January 2nd?
I thought it was the second Tuesday in
Yeah.
So
January.
that means
The second
would
Tuesday.
that be the ninth?
Yeah.
then? Is it-
Yeah.
Like, I thought all of these were for the second
Second
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. I read it this.
I read it somewhere.
Okay.
So did you
Yeah,
want
so
to
there is
comment?
no-
Yeah, well, I was
That's good
just
then.
wondering too, whether we
That
have,
makes it, well,
Yes.
in the past, we
Yeah.
always just
So
circled
it'd actually be the 9th.
the second.
Not to be a stickler, but if we're gonna discuss this, there needs to be a motion made first.
Yeah, let's,
Then-
do we have a motion
So
to,
moved.
So moved.
Second.
okay, discussion. There we go.
Okay. So in the past, we have always circled the second month, or the second week of a month for any possible need for a special meeting. So we've always had it that way. This seems like, it seems a little redundant if we've already got this plan in the past. We could just continue, always looking at if there's a problem with a meeting date, we have always got the second week or the opportunity to use that as a possibility for having another meeting. I'm just saying, it looks like to me that, some of these are gonna be difficult to operate under. I also am concerned about what the purpose is to have this so locked in. I don't know you know, we've always been able to move our meetings to, satisfy the need to communicate with the public on everything. I was happy with the original way we were working, and I just don't see that we have to have this locked in stone. So I don't know what other opinion other people have, but.
Anybody else want to go?
Like we had a lengthy discussion at the last.
Yeah, we pretty well discussed it last time, but I would second that. I mean, I think we owe it to the community when three of us candidates walked the campaign trail and talked to the public. The majority of the public came to us and said, I've talked to some teachers, people inside the school district, since our last meeting. I've heard the same things. People were happy to go back to 2 meetings. I see it, it's a big commitment we do owe to the public. It's just part of our job, so, I believe that we should establish making sure that we.
So this all goes to the issue of transparency.
Part of it, yes.
Or is it just that they wanna see the school board doing more in each month? Is that it, or what? I'm trying to figure it out, because.
I think trying to get issues solved a little bit quicker, you know, I've talked to.
Those issues may not be ready to be solved in a short period of 2 weeks. So, I don't know, I'm just saying, I just think.
Just to reiterate for the, I mean, I'm not gonna do a working discussion on this because it has been played out, but, just to reiterate my point of view on this. I do believe in education, there's a thing called best practices, and best practices clearly state that it's a monthly meeting. I have not seen any districts doing the 2 a month that are collaborated or even that do it. I think that from what I've heard, people I've spoken with, they're like, just stick with the monthly meetings. I worry about tying up district and building administrators when they should be running schools and looking out after our children versus doing paperwork, getting ready for this meeting. And I just don't really see a reason for it. I think we do have a transparency and communication issue that's ongoing. It's been going on and will continue to be ongoing. And we have other avenues to address that than going to another meeting each month.
And those avenues, as you mentioned, we have committees that are going to be active, and those committees can't possibly complete the job that they're starting in 2 weeks, or even have completed the focus that they have to present to the public. Also, we are going to be inviting the public to sit on some of those committees. So we have a lot of things that are going on in committees that people can participate in, and also have them as open meetings. Is that right, Tom?
But yeah, each meeting you have to have, when you have 3 board members, you have to have it open.
Yes, if there would be 3 board members, or it would be an open meeting. If it's just 2, then it would be the meeting with the people present. What I've seen, we've had in the school board committees policy, we have 3 mandated committees, and that is the board policy committee, and the parent teacher advisory committee, and the behavioral interventions committee. So what we've done is we've gone to 12 committees. We can simply look at what's in policy and adapt some of that to our existing committees. I had something that I wanted to present, which I did not prepare for this meeting, but I certainly will have it for the next. And I would like to share the time on discussing that and planning it with Lori because she and I have quite a few committees together. And I think that would be a nice way to get started on this. But in my way of thinking, if we have interested parties, interested people, we want to make sure that we can invite them. We do need formal invitations, and we do need RSVPs. So we're looking at making our committees very accessible.
Does anyone else same thing? You know, we talked to that last time. My whole thing was, I'm still on board with once a month, and then if we even think we need a second meeting, schedule it. But,
Sure, we'll do it.
that was my opinion on that. Anyway, we're in the discussion, so do we wanna do the roll call?
Curran,
No.
Knoble,
No?
Linneman,
Yes.
Benny, no, Silva,
Yes.
Bradley. Yes. Stacy,
Yes.
carries 4-3.
Okay. That one carried. So we will have 2 meetings a month, going forward not next month. It's September, October, November, December, September, October, not in November, not in December due to holidays. January, February, March, April, and May.
And it's in March, we
March,
can talk about when
right.
it's closed there, because
Right.
that is spring break.
Right.
And then we did say it would, like, at the end of this year, we would
Revisit.
revisit it. And how it worked.
Okay.
How will we measure if it works?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
I don't know.
What's on the agenda?
So it's not really a measure if it works, it's a count.
Yeah.
I think you could look to see what's on the agenda.
I mean, that would probably be the best way to
Yeah.
look at the agendas and see what needs the second meeting would, and, I mean, I know,
I don't know how you
even
determine
then you
that.
may argue that, so, yeah.
And also how many people are going to be attending
Yeah.
the,
Do you have data that you pull on that for like the
how many
viewers?
today? I think
43.
So you have like past data, so we can look at trends, what's happened since, like we went to
Let's
one
start
meeting
doing
versus
that.
one since we went to.
Sure.
that would be a
Yep.
good
Now,
idea.
obviously, they're all stored, so a lot of people go back and watch them
But we
at
can
their
get the
own.
numbers like today, just make sure you have that at the end of the meeting, we'll just keep track of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
you can
meeting was-
always
Yeah.
check it.
Yeah.
11A, Citizens Advisory Committee.
Okay, this is, we had a lot of, questions asked about, when are you going to start the Citizens Advisory Committee? The committee, will consist of citizens that represent a cross-section of the Granite City School District, the community, and the steering committee members, of which I was a part, and Talon as well. The goal is to broaden communication between the Granite City School District 9 Board of Education and its stakeholders, and to utilize the priorities developed from the strategic plan to advance these goals. So we're going to be using those areas of the, and this is all in the agenda, so the steering committee focus and their strategic plan will be included in our steering committee, which was never included before, but because of the committee that we finished and may be starting up again, right? So we're gonna be getting a lot of feedback from where we're going. I think the interest, again, in some of these areas are going to help us give a goal and a focus on where we go. We will still continue to be very close with SWIC, which was one of the very hot topics of the old committee. And then, again, our speaker sessions will be a new added item, using many of the people right here in our own district. So that was really kind of covered it.
So they should be looking out for hopefully September, some,
Yep.
meeting dates and
Yep.
locations and times.
Exactly.
That's great.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank
Quite
you.
welcome.
11B, Freedom of Information Act FOIA request.
I can tell I don't have to read this right. There were received three requests under the Freedom of Information Act during the period of June 16, 23 through July 18, 23. They are all listed below. Mr. Mitchell handled them all excellently, and,
The only change we have on number 2, we did not send
oh, right, date of birth.
current board members' date of
We
birth.
never do that, that is not.
And Eric, we had that same request last year that we did not
Right,
also.
right, I remember.
Well, we
Yep.
can't, we're not supposed to.
Just steal my identity.
Yeah,
Yep.
no.
Go ahead.
So that never goes up, just so you know.
Yeah, these are basically just requests for statistics from
Yep.
the same group. And,
Oh, wait, there's a.
Actually, I have two quick committee updates.
okay, yeah.
Member Bradley and I both are on the same committees for this, so,
What's this?
multi-grade level schools committee, we continue to meet with district administrators. We're going to have another meeting with district administration before our, August meeting, so we can have a more substantial update for that, but we are moving around looking at options. We've also been discussing like how we continue to move forward and keep the momentum going, not rushing to where we're negligent, but I don't feel like, given the thoughtful conversations we've had, that we are rushing to anything, but we want to keep the momentum moving. So after meeting with district administration, our next steps will be to include building administrators to get their perspectives and insights on different options, needs, wants, financial, finance is part of district administration. And then beyond, then as time goes on, we'll be looking at, teacher input, other staff input, bringing community stakeholders and parents in. The other committee that Ms. Bradley and I are on is the evaluation committee. We're working kind of on two pieces right now. One is streamlining the superintendent evaluation. It's no reflection directly on our current superintendent, it's just the process, and I'm a process person. Bringing it more in alignment with, she still has goals and standards, but bringing it more in alignment with like how we evaluate other educators in our district. And then the second piece, Stephanie shared with us, and we attended a Zoom the other day where we're learning about different softwares that make that really user-friendly. And as an evaluator who has my whole system set up in a Google Drive, I would love to go to a system like this. So currently Stephanie's collecting some quotes to see what, finances will allow, but it looks like it'd be something really wonderful to do. It doesn't change the content or how people are evaluated. It's really honestly just having a good place to store it that is user-friendly for all involved.
They can upload.
Yeah.
I've been
For
using it.
evaluator and evaluee.
It's the only district I've
And
really.
it's something that's ongoing, it should be going on.
Yes, you
forever.
can
add as
you go.
And it's easy to
Yeah.
click, okay, here we are in the process.
That's right.
Just
Yeah.
follow
And it allows
along.
teachers to upload, but we'll be doing that.
Yeah, it really holds true to the foundational principle that evaluation is not something that's done to somebody, it's something that's collaborated to do with somebody, and it's all geared toward professional growth. And so they're holding agency in that and not just receiving a sheet of paper that says if they're good or bad.
Right.
Makes it less subjective.
That whole idea has to be turned around. It's been a long time coming to start thinking about evaluation being a positive thing and not a
Yeah.
negative.
Okay.
So we do not have executive session tonight. Our next meeting is for Tuesday, August 22nd, after school starts, yeah. And that will be at 6 p.m. again, right here. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
Executive session.
Oh, yeah, executive session.
Oh, do we?
I just saw that.
I don't see it on the.
I don't see it.
It's on the, on your actual cover, it says executive session. It's 11 executive session.
Yeah, I see
Okay.
it.
So moved.
Any discussion?
Not sure that's legal, but we'll just go.
Vote of acclamation?
Yeah, we can do acclamation on this.
Yeah.
Yes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, and then, we did announce August 22nd is the next meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And as approved, we are out at 7.